Hi, it's Trevor from GHD-repair.co.uk. I'm often asked why we buy broken GHDs from customers. Currently we pay £15 for any of the models that we list on our website. Well, and the reason is that we obviously want to recycle and save as much as possible. Sometimes the customers will send in irons that are too good to scrap, and I will then repair and refurbish those. Sometimes we will sell them on our shop, sometimes on eBay. If they are not of the required standard, and of course most aren't when they're sent in, we will then use every single part that we can for spares. And here's a good example. I'm stripping a few pairs that have been sent in that we've purchased. This pair is an old 3.1 model. Just for storage space, I tend to cut the mains cables off and they all go into a box, and I process these when things are a little bit quieter. Now this particular pair, it's old, probably 20 years old, but we still need some of the parts. You'll see that the arms are quite faded. There's probably not much we can do with those, but they won't go in the bin. They will go into our storage, and maybe one day we'll actually put them to use, but it's not very likely. They will probably be sat there for some years until we get around to disposing of them. Now, as I say, we can recycle pretty much everything. We can't recycle the cable if it's damaged, which of course it will be, or it's too old like this one. And each couple of months I will take all of the unsalvageable metal parts down to a local scrap merchant, and we get a few pounds I wish, we get a few pence per kilo for cables and metal parts. So that is not heading to landfill, it is actually going off to be recycled. So the process normally would be a quick visual inspection. I know exactly what I can save with these, depending on the fault of course. They're generally not sent in to me working fully, there will be a fault. The arm covers will be saved. They're a little bit worn, as you can probably see, but we can salvage those and they go into a little pot. Same with these hinge components. They're pretty reliable, but occasionally the spring can break, so we will reassemble these parts, and again they will go into storage. If it turns out that we will never be able to use these in the years to come, then obviously they can go off to be scrapped at the scrap metal dealer. Again, virtually worthless, but at least they're being dealt with correctly and they're not going to end up in landfill. So at this stage we would remove the switch cover and we would keep that. They do split and customers occasionally buy them, so again all into storage. I've got somebody at the door. Okay, so a delivery cut that video in half, unfortunately. So at this point we would check to actually see what is wrong with the off to recycling, not going in the bin, it will be recycled. At this point we will just grab the multimeter and just have a little look, see if we can see what the fault is. Everything actually looks good, so I will just grab a mains cable and we'll just fire these up. And this is for me, this is not for customers to be doing, don't do this at home. And I can see that the light is on and that these are heating up. So I now know that I can salvage all of the parts here. First thing we will do is remove the element and ceramic plate as one unit. Now in this case the ceramic plate is in very good condition, so I don't want to scrap that. Normally I would take this apart, we would have the mount, the thermal fuse would be scrapped, and the heating element would be kept for repairs and sales, but that is far too good a condition to do that, so that will go into my storage for that particular model. Now we have a fabric-y, I don't know what it's made of, that's a little heat resistant pad. Again, that goes into my box over here. They do wear and get damaged. Silicone pieces from the arms, again not scrapped. I have a box under the bench full of those parts. At this point we will put all the screws back into the circuit board, and this circuit board will be kept, it will hang on the wall with all of the other circuit boards for all the different models until it is required. Again, this particular circuit board is pretty reliable, so I don't expect that I will need to use it, but certainly customers from time to time will order one of these boards when they've got a problem they can't resolve. Now the mains cable socket is what I'm taking off now. Again, we offer a new replacement part, or we also sell all of the genuine used parts. Various models have different length cables and we keep all of them in stock. There's another one here ready to be put into a bag. So again, not scrapped, they are all kept, and we do sell them from time to time on our shop. When I'm doing repairs, we will fit either used pattern parts, like used genuine parts like I'm showing you here, or we may decide to use brand new pattern parts. So that arm now will be put back together, well the cover will be put back on, and that will be put into storage boxes for the 3.1s, and in case a customer needs it. In this particular case I've got better condition ones, so if a customer orders one of these we will always send out the best available arm. Or if I'm doing a repair and it's got a broken arm, same story, I will go to the drawer and grab a replacement arm. Now we move over to the opposite arm. Again, all the silicone pieces get saved. I have in the past supplied companies that are just starting up with GHD repairs, and they have contacted us and we have supplied them with a big bag of assorted parts like those silicone pieces. There's probably, I don't know, 30 different types of silicone pieces that are used in GHDs. So again, they do not get wasted. Now that is in good condition, so we will keep that as well. We'll put the screws back in, and then we'll inspect that ceramic plate and see if that is also in good condition. These older irons now are becoming fairly rare to have, it's rare to find them with good quality ceramic plates without wear and scratches. Obviously they're 20 years old. Right, so again, arm cover can go back on. Similar condition to the other one, quite a lot of fading, but they will go together as a pair and will go into the drawer, and I hope to be able to use them in the future. All the screws are saved. We have a box here with every different screw that there is fitted in GHDs. Now unfortunately we have a big scratch right in the middle of that ceramic plate, and there's a few little marks at the end, so that would be unacceptable. We would not want to sell that to a customer, and I would not use it in a repair. So what happens in this case? Well, first of all, we can save the plastic mount and reuse that. We can remove and reuse the little spring clip, and we can reuse this 160 ohm element. And again, silicone piece there can go in the drawer. Now we could just send these off to the scrap metal dealer when we go down there every few months, but we also ship overseas, and the ceramic plates are, I wouldn't say they're fragile, but you wouldn't want to just sling that in a bag and ship it overseas. So what I do is just pop it into one of these scratched ceramic plates like that, a little bit of cardboard in there, and just tape it up, and then that guarantees that it will get to the overseas destination in one piece. Once it gets there, the customer can use that for whatever they want, or of course if they've got scrap metal dealers, they can drop it in. So that goes in a separate box. Now at this point I would normally strip this switch down, but I'm not going to lengthen the video by doing that. It's a waste of time. But once that switch is cleaned and we know this is working, I will score my initials into this, and that way I know that I have checked this thoroughly. It is safe and okay to send out to a customer, and that will now hang on the wall. And that is pretty much how we deal with any scrap irons that are sent in to us. Now it does vary, unfortunately, throughout the year. We are not always buying faulty GHDs, purely because of the fact that I've got so much stock here already. Certain models that we always want, but again we can get a glut of those at certain times of the year. But that's how we deal with them. We try to save every single piece, and if we can't save it, it will be recycled correctly. Very, very little actually goes into the domestic waste chain, fortunately. Okay, so hope that was interesting. Thanks for watching.